You are watching the math lesson of the day. Today's topic is functions, f of x and g of x, presented by your host, Tiffany Lloyd. First, we will talk about the purpose of using f of x and g of x. You will use two or more different functions together that will ultimately allow you to create a new equation or function. There are 6 main types of ways you can use f of x and g of x together. 1. Plug g of x into f of x. 2. Plug f of x into g of x. 3. Add f of x and g of x. 4. Subtract f of x and g of x. 5. Multiply f of x and g of x. And 6. Divide f of x and g of x. Now we will go over a few different examples of each of the types. Example 1. Plug g of x into f of x. We write this as f, open circle, g, or fog if you will. For example, if you have f of x equals 3x plus 2 and g of x equals 2x minus 1, this is what you will have to do. You will have to plug g of x into f of x where the x is. So where it says 3x plus 2, you substitute that x for 2x minus 1. From there on, we'll rewrite it at the top, and you simply plug it in, then you distribute, and you solve to get 6x minus 1 equals the f of g. Example 2 is plugging f of x into g of x, where you would write it the g of f. If you had f of x equals x plus 5 and g of x equals 15 plus 2x, you would plug the f of x plus 5, into the x of g. So rewriting it again, you would plug it in, distribute again, and eventually solve to get 25 plus 2x equals the g of f. For example 3, you will add f of x and g of x. For example, if f of x equals 2x and g of x equals 5x plus 10, you will just simply combine the equations together, then find like terms, and solve. Then you will, for this example, you will get 7x plus 16 equals the f plus g of x. For example 4, you will be subtracting f of x and g of x. If f of x equals 10x plus 7 and g of x equals 2x plus 5, you will once again combine the equations first. Don't forget to distribute the minus sign to both terms of g of x. After you distribute the negative sign, you will once again combine like terms and solve, leaving you with 8x plus 2 equals the f minus g of x. Example 5 is multiplying f of x and g of x. If f of x equals 3x and g of x equals 5x plus 4, you will first need to multiply the two together. You will do this by distributing 3x to 5x and the 4. This will leave you with 15x squared plus 12x equals the f times g of x. Example 6 is our last type of way we can use f of x and g of x together. If f of x equals 3x plus 2 and g of x equals 4 minus 5x, you simply write f of x divided by g of x, and since in this particular example it does not simplify, you just leave it as is. Now we learned a few examples on how to use it. However, we still only learned the basics of how to form the new equation, but we did not learn how to solve for x, which is how you will apply your newfound knowledge on f of x and g of x. Instead of asking the f plus g of x, a question might ask the f plus g of 2, which simply means that you would plug in 2 for x and proceed to solve. Let's go over a quick example. If they give you the f of x equals 2x and the g of x equals 3x, and they ask the f plus g of 2, you would plug in 2 for x and add the equations together like we practiced earlier. By simplifying and combining, you will be left with 10 equals the f plus g of 2. Let's go over a few tips. Keep in mind that adding and multiplying in different orders do equal the same thing. However, subtracting and dividing in a different order is not the same and will leave you with a different answer. It's time for a pop quiz. If f of x equals 5x and g of x equals 2x, what is the f times g of 3? The answer is 90. Great job! You just learned the math lesson of the day. Presented by Tiffany Lloyd, Miss Rankin's 5th period.